last night on The Bachelorette.
I don't get it. Like, I hit every point today, had the amazing moments. This is making me second guess everything.
Tino's acting like a real baby back bitch.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
Chili's
Baby back bitch.
barbecue sauce. I want
Well, folks, we are at the all-important week before hometowns, where Gabby and Rachel must decide which men's families they'll be meeting, a decision they'll make based on who takes the hardest whipping and who can lift the most cheese. And this week, the group is going to be sailing to Amsterdam, land of beautiful canals, historic architecture, and, of course, lively nightlife. But to start this episode off, we're going to be getting the one-on-one date cards for the week, where men like Ethan and Spencer are patiently waiting for their first solo date of the season, and
Zach.
Nate.
nope, it's Zach and Nate getting their second one-on-one of the season while the rest of the guys pout.
Can we go to the gym? I have some pouting to do.
This'll be a theme for Tino all episode. But as the first dates for the week are approaching, Rachel and Gabby get a surprise visit from Jesse Palmer, which is never good news.
Gabby, Rachel.
Hi, Jesse. How's it going?
So great
Sorry,
seeing
I don't
you.
want to
How
get
are
up.
you? Don't worry.
Sorry I Don't Want to Get Up, title of my autobiography. So you know when they bust out Jesse Palmer for an impromptu chat, something is about to go down, and this time it's coming from Gabby, who is starting to have some doubts about her and Nate's relationship. So the two meet up for their date where they're supposed to be exploring Amsterdam.
Have you been?
Oh, yeah, but it was during the pandemic, so nothing was
really?
open. It was crickets. It was like a ghost town.
Wait, what? He was in Amsterdam during the lockdown? Was he stuck there? Was travel even possible? I guess it's a good thing he's already toured the city, as instead of heading out on their date, Gabby has something else on her mind.
Nate is an amazing person and an amazing father.
But I have more healing and growing to do before I become a mom.
Yup, he's about to be dumped. And you know it's a bad sign when instead of going hat shopping or exploring a chocolate shop, you get pulled onto a bench like...
Today is, I know. I'm sorry to cry and to see you like this.
Now, what follows is a long and difficult conversation where Gabby explains to Nate that she's not quite ready to be a mom to his daughter.
I'm terrified of not just being a mom, but being bad at it.
Which makes sense considering her relationship with her now estranged mother. As she said earlier, she still has healing to do before she's ready to take on that responsibility. And well, this is a heartbreaking conversation that for me was mired by the latest controversy surrounding Nate. As last week, news came out about his past of stringing along multiple women, even hiding his daughter from one, something that Nate has yet to respond to apart from a quick Instagram reply. Now my hope is that we'll be hearing what he has to say at the Men Tell All, so we'll revisit this at that time when we hear his response. For now, after many tears, Nate and Gabby part ways, and we are down to 5 men on Team Gabby. Moving on to Rachel's one-on-one with Zach, where these two will actually be having their date, exploring the tulip fields of the Netherlands, biking to put on clogs, and even visiting a windmill, which I'm sure had Peter Weber back home going,
Oh my gosh. This is so beautiful.
Let's buy a windmill, huh?
So once again, we have a pilot and a windmill on this show, and even a hot tub in the middle of nowhere. This is like the most Bachelor date ever. Then, at the night portion of their date, Rachel and Zach pretend to eat dinner in a museum. And here, Zach tells Rachel he has zero doubts about her meeting his family. A conversation that leads into past relationships, as well as Zach's struggle with his weight.
I was about 85 pounds more than I am now, severely overweight. I've realized that I was not happy and I didn't have anything that resembled love for myself.
And in this conversation, Zach talks about the lack of love he had for himself and how he needed to be able to care for himself again if he was ever going to make caring for someone else work. At which point, Rachel asks how he was able to get there.
The main thing that really did help me in all this, and I'm a huge proponent of it, therapy.
Okay, on this channel, we support men being open about therapy. Zach then secures his Final Four spot by saying this:
I am falling in love with you. And it's crazy to say, but I'm falling in love with you. And
Oh my god.
And well, like every successful one-on-one, this date is capped off with a makeout sesh and a rose. Making it official, Zach is the first man headed to hometowns with Rachel. So on to Gabby's group date for the week, and it wouldn't be a trip to Amsterdam without a little peek into the red light district.
I don't know if I'm aroused or if I'm just like scared.
Mark me down as scared and horny.
Today we're gonna talk about knocking boots, hanky-panky, also known as sex.
So on this date, we're going to be exploring the kinky side of the men. But before we begin, Mr. Susie here has a few questions to go over.
How many of you know how to treat a woman in the bedroom?
Yeah. I feel like I did, but now I don't.
Wow, these guys really took that question and went... Next up, though, we need a safe word.
What's very important is your safe word.
Pumpkin.
Cruise ship.
How about like asbestos? Albuquerque?
Don't know about you, but mine would have been finasco.
After the finasco of the champagne stealing incident.
But with that, it's time to start the date. Hit it, mistress.
Hans! River!
So the guys engage in a little light tickling to warm them up before lying down on these mini taco shells. No kink shaming here. Gabby then whips the guys into shape, does a little dance with what I have to assume are mini lightsabers, and I'm just surprised Meatball didn't come out and have everyone sniff his armpit. However, if you're expecting the party to continue on into the night portion of the date, Jesse Palmer has arrived unannounced yet again to spoil the evening.
But we do have a bit of a situation with one of your guys. Logan tested positive for COVID-19.
So, okay, Logan has COVID and he won't be coming back. They really didn't make it clear here, and when Jesse goes in to tell the other men, it's even weirder.
There has been a situation with Logan. And because of that, there is no after party.
But that's kinda where he leaves it. He doesn't even tell them it's COVID, you know, cause they've all been in close contact with him and should probably know that stuff. I mean, just hours before, they all shared a whip with them lying down on these taco shells. Kinda feels like he should be telling them more, and I don't know about you, but I think there might be a conspiracy afoot. So it just seems kinda weird that the show continues on without any kind of protocol for Gabby and the men, while Logan has been removed from the show. Like, actually removed, he's gone. They don't even get him to pop in on a Zoom call for the rose ceremony. Plus, Logan made an Instagram post as the show was airing to talk about his time on the show, and at no point does he mention COVID. Also, remember this from last week's preview?
She was in tears.
I feel awful.
You gotta pack your bags.
Seems like they're still in Amsterdam, and why is Jesse in close contact with him? Seems weird. Now, something Logan does mention in his Instagram post is his mental health. Is it possible the real reason he's gone has something to do with that? Ultimately, this is all speculation, but something just seems weird about how this all went down. But okay, there's still more show to get to as we now move on to Rachel's group date. A dream date of mine, standing around and eating a bunch of cheese. But not only that, the guys will also be participating in a local tradition, a cheese strongman competition where the man who holds onto his cheese the longest is crowned the Cheese King. And like me devouring a cheese plate on Christmas Eve, this competition isn't actually about strength, it's about sheer power of will. So as muscle men Tyler and Avon drop out early, Tino barely beats Ethan to become the Cheese King. All hail. Honorable mention mention goes out to Ethan for jumping headfirst into this date while also being lactose intolerant.
You know, I'm pretty lactose intolerant, so I'm getting cheesy today. You know, might be feeling it a little later, but Rachel loves cheese, so therefore, I love cheese.
But as things head into the night portion of the date, the Cheese King is feeling as though the lowly subjects beneath him are getting more quality time with Rachel than he is. I'm telling ya, power can drive you mad. And it's only made worse when, at the end of the date, Tyler is the one given the group date rose.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't get it. Like, I hit every point today, had the amazing moments. I just can't see something connecting on a deeper level than that.
Well, Tino is starting to second guess Rachel, because how could she not give him the rose? Does she not feel the same way? Did she not see how much cheese he lifted for her today?
Like getting it after I crushed today, and that would be like I'm rolling into hometowns and I'm about to put Zach out or Avon out or anybody else who tries to in these waters, you're toast.
Yeah, like I'm the frickin' Cheese King, does she not know? Feeling a lot of these vibes from Tino.
Me. I am your Hay King. All hail your Hay King!
Now I do have to say, I do appreciate this temper tantrum, mostly because it leads to this, the line of the night.
Tino's acting like a real baby back bitch.
Yeah.
But alright, with that, it's now time to head into the rose ceremony for the week. And hey, look, 4 men for Gabby, 4 hometowns, right? Spencer, against all odds, has locked in a Final 4 spot, and oh, there are only 3 roses on the podium. Welp, sorry Spencer, you telling me he's gonna get a rose over Eric, Jason, and Johnny? Don't think so.
Johnny. Johnny, we accept this rose.
That's what I thought. Sorry, Spence. Now as for Rachel, she has 3 men left without a rose, and 2 to hand out, with Avon getting the first rose, and things ultimately coming down to Tino and Ethan. And while the Tino jealousy angle has been interesting, at the end of the day, this is between a man who Rachel's been swooning over all season, and a man with very little screen time and no one-on-one dates. So, I think you know where this is headed.
Tino. Tino, will you accept this rose?
Of course.
Rachel gives a rose to her baby back bae, Tino, and we say goodbye to Ethan. Meaning we're now headed back to the States, where we'll be meeting the families, and maybe even a celebrity guest. So that's it for this recap of week 6 of The Bachelorette. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to give the video a like, let me know with a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel as there's still a lot of season to get to. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake, out.
I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
Baby back bitch.
barbecue sauce. I want